Hey, I wanted to jump on. This morning while I was getting dressed, I glanced upon a picture that I have on my wall, and it says, "She believed she could, so she did." Or, "She believed she could, and she did." I believe that's it. And that picture, although it's been on my wall for a little bit, it really encouraged me this morning, because it just reminded me of how thankful I am in the position that I'm in today. Because years ago, many moons ago, I wanted the freedom that I have today. And when I say freedom, I'm not talking about a superficial freedom. I'm talking about an emotional, mental, and physical freedom. And it was just like I was just involved in a situation where it wasn't working for me. It was toxic, and I found myself there, and for many years I didn't know how to get out. And then many years after not knowing how to get out, I began to become aware of the toxic cycles. I began to become aware of the position that I was really in, and I had to really filter whether I wanted to remain in that position. And it took some time. It took some time for me to even wrap my head around what was going on, and to wrap my head around of the possibility that I would not be in that position, at a certain point. And I mean, it took some time for me to grasp and grab a hold of what was before me. So once I began to admit the position that I was in, and admit that, this is not going the way that it should be going, and I had to shake off the opinions of everybody else, because everybody have an opinion, and everybody's opinions are different, because you have people who have opinions based on their experiences. You have people who will give you opinions based on not their experience, because they've never experienced it, but because of just their belief. And then you have people who are just going to give you that unadulterated opinion that you could have just that they could have just kept to themselves, because it's totally to the left. Yeah, so you have so many opinions that will come at you. So you have to shake off all of that. You have to just say, you know what? I know what I need to do for me, and that's what I'm going to do. And it sounds harsh. It sounds really harsh. But guess what? The person who's giving you their opinion, or the person who's giving you their belief, they're giving it to you just as harsh. Because they wholeheartedly are believing in what they're saying. So you can't downplay what they're saying. If they want to believe that, then let them believe it. But if it's not a fit for you, then it's just not a fit for you. If somebody wears a pair 7 shoe, and that's a great fit for them, and they wholeheartedly believe that because it's theirs. But guess what? If I wear an 8.5, then your size 7 shoe is definitely not going to be a fit for me. It's cute on your feet. But if I try to put my 8.5 foot in your size 7 shoe, guess what? Guess who's going to suffer? Guess who's going to be in pain? Me. And then on the flip side, if they put their size 7 foot in my 8.5 shoe, it's going to be too big. Maybe what I'm embarking upon is it's not a fit for them because it's stretched too big. It's stretched too big. It's totally like a stretch from their comfort zone. It's totally like a stretch from their belief system, So hey, you can't knock what another person's opinion is. Now, I'm not talking about right and wrong per se, because some things are just cut and dry. Some things are cut and dry, but some things is just like a cookie cutter, and all cookie cutters aren't the same, but it's still a cookie cutter. It's still a way. It's still a tool or utensil to get you to the next step. So yeah, you got to just be aware of people's opinions, and you have to like shake the opinions off. And then after that, you becoming aware of your own situation and shaking off people's opinions. Then you have to believe. You have to believe that you can. That is so important. So this morning, whenever I actually looked at that again, and I look at it all the time, but this morning it kind of like struck me different. You have to believe that you can. Because if you don't believe you can, then you won't do it. You never will. If you can't believe that you can, then you never will. So that believing that you can is so important, because believing that you can actually propels you forward. It propels you forward. If I believe I can buy a house, guess what? I'm going to try to buy a house. If I don't believe I can buy a house, I'm not going to ever try. If I believe that I can sing, then guess what? I'm going to sing and sing and sing. But if I don't believe that I can sing, then although I may like sing to myself, but I'll never admit and believe that I can actually like sing in front of other people. And my voice may be good. My voice may be good, but it's the belief. What do I believe that I can do? What do I believe that I can do? Do I believe that I can do this thing that I am embarking upon? And if I don't believe it right now, because many times I didn't believe. It took a while for me to finally believe that I could, because I had to go through, admitting where I was. I had to go through shaking off other people's opinions. And in those stages, you may be coming into the notion that you're believing you can, but you're building up. You're building up that belief to be stern. You're building up that belief. So once you start believing that you can, then at that point, it shifts. Oh my goodness, it shifts. It shifts, because whenever you start believing that you can, you start going on a grind toward that thing. You start going on a grind toward that thing. When I was in a bad situation and a bad circumstance, whenever I grabbed a hold to, I believed that I could do it, then the game changed. The game changed because I stopped becoming a victim. I stopped becoming a victim, and I began to be a victor, or I began to walk from a perspective of victory. Something got in my throat. Yeah, so you have to believe that you can. You have to believe that you can. You have to believe that you can. Because I stopped walking from that stance of victim, and I started looking at victory. I started saying, man, I can do this. Man, I can do this. I started to see the prize. I started to see freedom. I started to like smell freedom. And the closer and closer I moved toward freedom, the bigger and bigger that smell came. And at a certain point, you're just not going to go back. You're just not going to go back. You sometimes reach a point where you can't even go back. And even if you turn around to look back, there's nothing else there for you to hold on to. So that's real important right there, because many of us have turned around And we see that there's nothing really to hold on to. There's nothing really that's there. But we still choose to go back. And there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Now, there may be a person, place, or thing, the image of it there. But as far as the energy or whatever that it's going to like put toward you, it's not there. It's not there. In relationships, you know, you may have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or just a social friend, you know, friends, you know what I'm saying? And you know that this tenure, the course has taken its toll. You know, it's no more, it's nothing else. And you see freedom from it. Just keep walking away from it because it's not even productive to you anymore. But then you turn around because you're longing for that person, place, or thing. And whenever you look back at it, it's dead. Not necessarily laying in the ground dead in a casket, but it's a dead resource. It's no longer living. It's no longer a living wave, or it's no longer life for you. So you see that and you know that in your gut, but you still walk back to it. And 9 times out of 10, when you walk back to it, years later, you find yourself just existing in this dead, waveless bubble. And a lot of times you may not even get out again. You may continue to just be there, existing. You know, now you can still have fun. You can still laugh in that bubble, but it's not your life. It's not your lifeline. It's not your joy. Okay, so be aware of that. If something has run its course, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Now, I'm not talking about marriages because that's a whole total different dynamic. I'm not talking about marriages. I'm not encouraging anybody to get out of a marriage. I'm not encouraging anybody to get out of a marriage. But, you know, even if you do in a marriage, if you separate from that marriage for a while, you know, to see if it can be reconciled. I mean, I'm not encouraging anybody to get a divorce. That is totally your decision. It's totally your decision. And there are, you know, you have to just like go before the Lord and beseech him on that area and see what's going on. I'm not in no way telling anybody to do that. So yeah, but as far as friendships, as far as social circles and stuff, yeah, I'm telling you, if it's not doing anything for you anymore, if it's toxic, get out of it. If it can't be reconciled to where all parties can, like, you know, flow at an even level, get out. You know, believe you can and do it. Because it's only helping you. It's only helping you to advance. It's only helping you, because as long as you have those toxic people, places, and things, you're going to stay in those toxic cycles. That's just going to keep you going round and round and round and round and around and around and around the same bush. You're going to be going around the same toxic circle. So yeah, believe that you can and get it done. Go through the different processes. Go through the different, you know, cycles and stuff that you need to go through to get to the point that you need to find yourself at, and get it done. Live your best life. Live your best life, no matter how young you are or no matter how old you are. Today is another day. It's another chance to get it right. It's another chance. All it takes is a choice. All it takes is a choice and courage on top of that choice. All it takes is a choice. All it takes is a choice. All it takes is a choice. All right. Well, I hope everyone is doing well. And I thank you for listening, and I thank you for watching, and have a great day. Until we meet again.